A long time ago, when humans were still settling in different parts of the world, nature often reminded them of its unmatched power. The earth was vast, untamed, and full of mysteries. The mountains stood tall like ancient guardians. The rivers carved their way through the land, and the forests whispered secrets to those who listened. But among all the forces of nature, there was one creation that struck fear into the hearts of men: the tornado, a swirling beast of wind, born from the clash of hot and cold air, that could tear through cities, forests, and anything in its path within moments. Ancient storytellers spoke of a great war in the heavens. The sky was ruled by two powerful spirits: Aquila, the fierce ruler of the scorching winds, and Boreas, the icy king of the frozen storms. Their rivalry was as old as time itself. Whenever Aquila's hot winds clashed with Boreas' cold fury, chaos erupted. The sky would darken, the air would become heavy, and suddenly, a spinning column of wind would descend upon the earth, wreaking havoc. The people believed tornadoes were the wrath of the sky gods, unstoppable, uncontrollable, and devastating. One of the deadliest tornadoes in history occurred in 1925 in the United States. Known as the Tri-State Tornado, it moved across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, destroying everything in its wake. It began as a whisper in the wind, an eerie silence followed by a distant roar. Farmers in the fields looked up to see a monstrous, black funnel stretching from the heavens to the earth. Within seconds, the sky turned pitch black, and the winds howled like demons. Witnesses reported seeing entire houses lifted off the ground, swirling in midair, before shattering into a million pieces. Trees snapped like matchsticks. Trains were derailed, and entire towns vanished as if they had never existed. The tornado lasted for more than 3 hours, covering a path of 219 miles, the longest and deadliest tornado in American history. In 1989, a tornado struck the village of Daulatpur in Bangladesh, claiming over 1,300 lives and leaving thousands homeless. The destruction was so severe that even scientists were baffled. Survivors described it as a storm from hell. The sky turned an unnatural shade of green, and within minutes, the winds became a raging beast. Entire villages were flattened, and bodies were found miles away, carried by the merciless winds. The elders of the village claimed that the tornado was a punishment from the rain god, furious at the way humans had exploited the land. Some even said they saw ghostly figures dancing within the storm, spirits of the past seeking revenge. Not all tornadoes are made of mere wind. In Australia, where wildfires rage across dry landscapes, a rare and terrifying phenomenon has been witnessed: fire tornadoes. Imagine a tornado, but instead of air and dust, it is made entirely of fire. These flaming whirlwinds rise into the sky, twisting and turning as they burn everything in their path. Firefighters have no way to stop them. They can only watch as nature unleashes its fury, leaving nothing but ashes behind. Deep in Antarctica, where the cold is relentless, a different kind of tornado has been observed: snow tornadoes. These icy whirlwinds spiral through the frozen wastelands, creating blinding white storms that can disorient even the most experienced explorers. Scientists believe they are caused by sudden shifts in air pressure, but the locals tell a different story. They believe these storms are the spirits of lost travelers, forever trapped in the icy winds, searching for a way home. Throughout history, humanity has tried to tame nature. We have built great cities, conquered vast lands, and even sent machines beyond the stars. Yet when faced with the fury of a tornado, all our power crumbles within seconds. Tornadoes are unpredictable, unstoppable, and merciless. Despite advancements in meteorology, scientists can only predict where a tornado might form, but they cannot prevent it. Once a tornado touches the ground, it decides its own course, its own speed, and its own destruction. It does not discriminate between rich and poor, old and young, cities and villages. It consumes everything in its path. Many people believe that living in modern cities, surrounded by skyscrapers and technology, means they are safe from nature's wrath. But history has proven otherwise. In 1999, the Bridge Creek Moore tornado in Oklahoma, USA, produced the strongest winds ever recorded on Earth, over 300 miles per hour. Homes built with steel and concrete were torn apart like paper. Cars were tossed into the sky like toys. Even underground storm shelters were shaken by the sheer force of the storm. In 2011, the Joplin tornado in Missouri flattened an entire city, leaving thousands homeless in just 38 minutes. People who had lived in the same place for generations found themselves standing in a wasteland of debris, unable to recognize where their homes once stood. Tornadoes remind us that no matter how much we advance, we are still vulnerable to the forces of nature. Scientists have spent decades studying tornadoes, how they form, how they move, and how they disappear. Yet there are still many unanswered questions. Why do some storms produce tornadoes while others do not? Why do some tornadoes last only a few seconds while others last for hours? Why do tornadoes seem to follow certain paths, destroying one house while leaving another untouched? These questions remain a mystery, and every new tornado brings more puzzles than answers. In many cultures, tornadoes are seen as the hand of the gods, punishing the land for human sins. Some believe they are spirits of the wind, roaming the earth in anger. In the American Midwest, some Native American tribes tell stories of the Thunderbirds, massive mythical creatures that create tornadoes by flapping their wings. Even in modern times, many people report strange occurrences before a tornado strikes. Animals behaving erratically, as if sensing an unseen force. A sudden, eerie silence before the storm. Unexplained flashes of lightning inside the tornado, known as tornado fire. These mysteries add to the terrifying beauty of tornadoes. They are not just storms, they are forces beyond human understanding. With climate change altering weather patterns, scientists predict that tornadoes may become even more frequent and intense in the future. New tornado-prone areas are emerging, and storms are becoming harder to predict. Some researchers are developing new early warning systems using artificial intelligence to track storm behavior. Others are experimenting with drone technology, hoping to fly directly into tornadoes to gather real-time data. But even with all these efforts, one truth remains. Tornadoes will always be beyond human control. They are a reminder that, no matter how powerful we think we are, nature will always have the final say. And when the sky darkens, the wind begins to swirl, and a monstrous funnel touches the ground, humanity can only watch and pray,